Hello, everybody. This is Jack, and thank you so much for attending this training. I'm really pleased with the amount of attendees today. So, if you hear me well, enter your name, say hi, where you're coming from, so I know everything is working on your end. Hi, Bill. Hi, Will. Hi. Will, I missed you for a while, I think. Hi, Anise, joins weekly, Scene, Eric, Arlene, of course, Girish. So, Girish, contact me via Skype. So send in support ticket, and I will enter my Skype address so we can talk. Andy, join, John, sorry, Freda, Michael, Trinidad. Good, love it. So, are you guys ready for a new training? What I prepared today? London, London. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Is that right? So London is still. John is from Melbourne, Australia. So once we allowed to travel, Australia, London, they're all great places to visit one time. For now, we have to work from home, and we can work from home, and we can run our digital agency training. So let's start. This training is about Google My Business. And actually, as you know, Google changes all the time. I have a saying, Google changes as often as the weather changes. They really change that often. And you will see that Google My Business changed also lately. And actually, they they named it differently. I still call it Google My Business because that is in my head. That is how I know it. But they kind of have a new name for it, and I will announce you the name for it. Does you guys know which name Google name it now? Anybody from you know that? What's the new name from Google My Business? Yeah. Oh my God. You guys are good. I didn't know that. Yes, that's right. Google Business Profile. That's right. How do you guys know that? You guys are on top of it. You bought the product. I don't know. Where did you guys heard about that? That is good. So many of you guys heard it on another webinar today. Oh, oh, yeah. I heard it from a presentation. Okay, YouTube. Yeah, good. You're right. More to come. So, I kind of want to do a poll first before we go into the content. I like, and now we are with so many people today, so many attendees today. I really like you vote, so we have a good statistic. So let me launch it. You should see the poll. So the question is Google My Business important for a business? So you should see a poll. And if you don't see, let me know. I don't know if it works on a mobile, the poll, but um, you should see the poll if you see the chat. I'm not actually not sure how you see it, but it should come up. And 63% voted. So we have a couple of you guys. Uh, uh, Please entering it. So let's do the last person on this training. Let's vote them. So we have a very good statistic. And let me close it and then view it. Share. Okay, you should see it. Can I see it? I don't know how I can view it. Do you guys see the outcome? Okay, and maybe Aline can make a screenshot of it. That would be good. It's amazing, huh? 100% yes. It's amazing. So we all agree that Google My Business and now Google Profile, business profile is very important for a business. So let's get to work. Now let's see height. Okay, let's get to work. To get the most of Google My Business, I call it still Google My Business. I didn't know you guys were already so up to date. It is important to stay up to date with the newest development Google My Business. Therefore, we make an overview of what we think are changes that every business owner should be aware of it. The business owner, but also you. Exactly, mainly you, because you can help the business owners with it. So the Google My Business 2022 overview. Therefore, we make an overview of what we think every change owner should be aware of. Okay. Below you find an overview of the different changes in Google Business we are going to discuss. Number one, option to add health and safety attributes. So this is introduced because of the COVID. Here you can add things. You wear a mask and other precautions you follow for that everybody who wants to visit that location feels safe. COVID-related attributes for business in the food industry and restaurants. Very important. So people want to feel safe when they visit a restaurant. Attributes for online services. Google is moving more and more that you can show products on Google My Business. Google My Business call history feature, so you can track how many calls business listing got. Additional Google My Business insight data, so you get better data what's going on with the listing. Google My Business messaging, good or bad. New review removal management tools, so that you can manage better bad reviews. Google My Business will be showing the label for new reviews. Yes. Google is taking action to highlight woman-led, black-owned, Asian-owned, and LGBTQ friendly businesses. Google My Business reduced max video upload size. Google guarantee certification badge. Phone numbers aren't allowed in Google Post anymore, are not. Biggest change in 2021, Google My Business in name is Google My Business Profile. So quite a bit of changes, correct? So if you want to provide Google My Business services and now Google Business Profile, yeah, if you guys feel I can do that, start to mention Google Business Profile. I'm kind of in my head, I still have Google My Business. So I'm not, it's kind of the same for me. I used to say always Google AdWords, and now it is Google Ads. Finally, I'm used to Google Ads, and it's the same with Google My Business, and now Google Business Profile. So maybe um, maybe you can remember it easier when you understand the changes. So profile kind of means an account, correct? And now, if the business has only one account, they can straight into the search in google.com search, make updates. If they are logged in with their Gmail where the Google My Business profile is created. So it becomes more a profile than a dedicated business listing. It's their profile. They log in with their company Gmail address and they can update that profile. And when they can make changes more easily, Google tries to achieve that they make more changes often, and that profile is kind of a more accurate status of the business. If they are open, the opening hours, precaution, products, all kind of things. Does it make sense? So a business listing becomes more a business owner profile, which they can easily update. So if you see that logic, you probably get easier used to the new name. And I still have to adjust. Eventually, you need to be where your customers are, correct? So that is 101. So you can have the best ad, the most money, but if you use that or apply that where there are not a lot of customers, then it is not effective. So what I mean with that, businesses, consumers use Google. Although there are many online local detectives, Bing app and Apple Map and Google Maps is the most probably responsible for driving 80% of local targeted traffic. 80%. So if you want to get found online, and we all agree, and actually in the beginning in the poll, you want that the business gets shown in Google My Business, Google Business Profile. I need to get Google Business Profile, Google Business Profile, GBP. Doesn't sound so good at GMB, GBP, Google Business Profile. So you see 150% growth is search volume without the qualifier near me. So they see near me if Google people use the near me term more and more often, and they do that to get to the Google map. Okay, Google My Business, Google Business Profile, and I find the business they are looking for. Final increase in the near me mobile searches, 300% increase in open now. They want to know if a business, a restaurant, whatever, is open now. 3 in 4 smartphone owners turn to search phase to address their immediate needs. Ranking in Google Maps, I think it's okay to say Google Maps, maybe Google Business Profile. I don't know if they changed that name. I always say Google Maps because show a map, because business gets found on Google. That is very important. A Google My Business listing increase the trust to contact the business. And 3, able to show customer reviews to increase the trust in the company. So, how many keywords does the near me extend to? Every. So I will not say every, but all the keywords the map show. But if you add the near me, then okay, how the distance? So the distance is kind of fluid. So if there are a lot of businesses and Google My Business only show 3 to 4 listings. So as many as that spot is filled up, correct, Will? So it's all relative. Ranking in the top 3 in Google Maps leads to increase in phone calls, increase in website visits, and Google My Business will increase sales, correct? So that is kind of the why. Increasing phone calls, increasing website visits. That is what you get when a business is ranking high in Google Business Profile. I got it now. Google Business Profile. I think we got it all together, correct? Google Business Profile. Get used to it. Google My Business ranking will increase sales. With the knowledge, how are you going to page Google My Business? Now, with this knowledge, so that is the thing. And that is kind of the core of this training. And I hope somebody will do a role play with me. So that how are you going to pitch it? Okay. Now we have no. Okay. So that is kind of So, does somebody wants to do a role play with me? Enter yes. I would be very happy if you would do. Will, I think you are good at role play. You haven't been on the call for a long time, so get. Huh? Natalie, good. See if we can make that happen. Always a question. How that do? It's always a question how that unmute works. Are you there?
This is Natalie.
I don't know how we get it to work, but we did.
I don't know what you did either, but here I am.
Good. So, do you want to be the business owner or the marketer?
I want to be the person who knows the least about everything, because that's where I am right now.
So that's the business owner.
Okay.
Which business do you like to be? Where do you have feeling for?
How about singing lessons?
Singing lessons. Okay. Yeah. So I'm so I sent you an email or a voice drop message or whatever, and you call me up, the marketer. Okay?
Okay.
And then we go from there. So you just call me.
So we're pretending that you have sent me an email.
Correct. Or a
I got
voice
your
drop
email.
message or whatever. It's just you call me up. And
Okay. So
I don't know nothing about you. You just call me up.
You don't know anything about me. Okay.
Yeah.
I just got on this call, so I missed the first
Yeah, no
5,
worries.
10. Okay.
No worries.
Okay. So hi. I'm calling
Hi,
about.
yes.
I got an email from you.
Good. And
There
what
you
was
have
the
it.
email?
That's all I know. I think
What
it's
was
about Google My Business, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So which business do you have?
I teach singing lessons.
Wow, that is interesting. So how many students do you currently have?
About 15.
15. And do you feel you can handle more students in a month?
Yes. Well, what I want to do is start teaching groups.
Groups.
And I would like also to start teaching groups online, ideally.
Okay.
That's what I would really like to do.
Wow.
By the way, this is true.
Yeah.
This is really true. This is my other life.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm not sure if you read my email, but I love to help you to get found online. Actually, you know, if you get listed on the first page of Google, you know, that will change your business tremendously. 80% of the people, students, are looking online on Google to find a music teacher like you. And it is a matter of just getting on the first page of Google. Now, it's not easy, it takes time, but since you want to start those classes, you really need a great amount of students to fill up your class, correct? So, how big do you anticipate that those classes are?
Could you say that question again?
How many students are in one class?
Ideally around 10.
10. And how many classes do you know, is that a class once in the 3 months, or is that a class in a month? So how do you see that?
It'd be about 6 months. So really more like a program for 6 months for about 10 students at a time.
Okay, and what do they pay for that class?
I'm just pricing that out right now, actually, but they would sign on for about 300,
Okay.
and then they would pay about 200 a month for
Okay.
variety of.
Yeah, that makes sense. So 6 months times 12 is a 200 is $1,200 plus. So it's $1,500 per student, correct?
Approximately. Yep. That
And
sounds
then
about
you
right.
said 10 students.
Yes.
Is 10 times 15 is $15,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if I can help you to get those 10 students, um, kind of for 1/5, ROI of 5 is $300, $3,000. Would that work for you?
Wait, could you say that one more time? If you could help me get
With 10
those
students
students.
for your class, which
Hmm.
you earn $15,000 for, would $3,000 sound a fair amount for you?
I guess so. I mean, it would be awesome if it was less, but I would.
Yeah. So this is
But
how
it would make
Google.
sense.
Yeah, makes sense, correct?
Yes. And I would still be making a very good
Yeah,
margin. Yes.
correct. You understand business. I love it. That's why you're a business owner. So, um, so what we first will do is we will list on Google My Business. We make sure everything works and see how it ranks fast. Depending on when you need the students, we can with $3,000 we can even throw some Google Ads spending on it, so that you get those students fill out. So when do you anticipate to start those classes?
How's next week?
Okay.
No, I mean that was my original intention, but you're telling me it takes time. So what do you think would be the time frame that would be reasonable in working
No,
with Google My Business?
no. If I hear you speaking, we have to do a two-step way. One step is we work on a Google My Business listing, we optimize it, so you're getting ranked for the right keyword. But that takes about 3 months.
Okay.
You don't like that. I understand. In the meantime, because you have some money to spend, we will also run some ads. And those ads, you have to pay for it. To Google My Business, if they click on it, you don't have to pay. You only pay me for the management. But if they click on the ad, you have to pay Google for it. So we will do both strategies to fill up your class, and then over time, depending on the ranking goes, we will lower the cost on Google Ads.
That makes sense.
Okay.
What
So yeah,
mhm. What do you think would be, a reasonable cost range for Google Ads?
it will fit in those $3,000 probably.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And is this so the ads are more kind of if you want students next week, that's how you get them. If you're growing longer term, like to fill the classes, then the Google My Business, and then they work together to bring in overall more students.
Correct. Now next week is kind of quick.
Optimistic.
So, but this at least it is the fastest method to get students. Huh? So that is what I can say.
I see.
So let's not waste time. Which credit card do you want to use?
Got it. Put it on my XYZ.
Okay. So what do you think from this call?
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're when you proposed the $3,000, was that what was that based on? Is that based on uh, just like you saying, thinking, okay, what would I, from your perspective, you're thinking, what would I want to do this for? What would
Correct.
I want to make out of this? And then you want to make sure that it's win-win, so they realize
Correct.
what they're getting out of it, but it's not really based on any particular thing, or
Correct.
is it?
Correct.
Okay, it's just based on what they're anticipated budget is, and then you go, okay, well, out of that budget, how does this number feel for making sure you fill those classes?
So I have many Google Ads clients. Okay, this is not really Google Ads based, but I have. And then some clients pay me $1,000 and some clients pay me $500. And I do the same amount of work for. So it's not fair, correct?
Yeah.
It's not fair. But some business just make more money than other business, so they can afford more. And why can I afford more? Because they also make more money for each from each client, from each customer.
Mm-hmm.
So a lawyer makes typically more money from each customer than, let's say, from
a music teacher. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just saying, yeah. Yeah, you didn't learn music because you wanted to earn as much as a lawyer, huh? So it was just your love of doing it, correct?
Right.
So you knew that when you started, but
That's right.
that is how it works.
So
And
you kind of internally, when you're talking with the client,
yeah,
you internally process a sliding scale. It's
correct.
not, you don't call it that, but you're doing that in your own mind, and you're
Yeah,
thinking what
correct.
would seem like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say to a
correct.
music teacher, like, I'll do this for $10,000, because you're never gonna get the sale. They're not
Correct.
gonna say yes.
And
Okay.
I can still work for $3,000 for 6 months and maybe some extra, Yeah. So let's say
Yeah.
theoretically, I only sign up 8 students. You would still be happy. Let's
Right.
say I sign up 15 students, and then you say, hey, I'm very happy. Huh? So you can ask more. So it's not 100% mad. Huh? It just how do you say this? Acceptable. Huh?
Yeah.
So
Right.
when I do Google My Business or Google My Business or Google Ads for a client, I make sure they're happy. But happiness is not an absolute thing; it's relative.
Right.
Relative means they used to have 5 clients per week, and all of a sudden they have 10 clients per week. So they double the business, for example. But if I could also maybe, so I have a plumber now. It's really true. It's now 3 months sign up. He did Google Ads by himself, was not successful. I do now Google Ads for him, and I generate about 160 new calls and clients, customers for him. 160. Now, here's the good part. He he spends about $3,000 with me on Google Ads. His total marketing budget, so he does print, he does radio, he does all kind of. His total marketing budget is $300,000 per year. So that is divided by 12. I don't know. I'm not so good in math, but something like $25,000. So $25,000 and 3,000. If you see how many calls you get for Google Ads, it's 160, and the second marketing channel he get calls from is 5. 5 and others 3 and 1. So he's very happy with me. So, but I didn't promise 160 calls. I did not promise. I said I know my stuff. Okay, I'm I'm I I'm relative good to other competitors. So I don't know how the city is and how much people looking for plumber or so, and I don't know how many people looking for a teacher. Okay, I only know that I will uh, beat the competition, and that is what I can promise.
Mm-hmm.
So um, there are 2 things what I want to say. One is it's not concrete mad that I will deliver 10 tutors. The second thing is you need to know your service. Okay, you need to provide something what you're good in, Google Business or Google Ads or or social posting or whatever. So, and then I will provide training for Google Business. So if somebody wants to learn Google Business, I will provide a training. But basically, it's not hard. It's everything you can learn within a week. No, maybe not music, but I mean digital marketing. You can learn a lot in a week.
Mm-hmm.
So back to my thing is if um, so I kind of had it easy for me. You want to give me some harder time, okay? Because I kind of felt it was easy with you, huh?
Okay. You could probably ask somebody else to be meaner.
Now I'm calling you now. I'm
Okay.
calling you, and so it's that is already harder than you call me, right? Because if you call me, you kind of are pre-qualified. Because
Right.
in the email you read something that you were interested, so you kind of are a warmed up lead. If they call you or email you or they contact you, it's easier than you have to call them, huh?
Right.
And then you enter, yeah, then you have to ask for attention. So let me try it, okay?
Okay.
Uh, ring ring. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Who's speaking?
This is Natalie Eastman with A Higher Note.
Hi. Hi, Natalie. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you. How are you? And with whom am I speaking?
Yeah, my name is Jack, and I was just wondering, which business do you have?
What do I have?
Which business do you have?
Music business.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is why I called you about. Um, so um, I was kind of looking for a music business teaching in your location because I have figured out a way to get listed on the first page of Google. So where are you located?
Tennessee in the U.S.
Tennessee. You, yeah, yeah. Of course, I know where it is. So. Um, so I was wondering if you're interested to get more students in your program.
Yes. Although, Jack, let me tell you this. Like, I would have hung up on you at the beginning, to be quite honest. I would have been like, I'm not interested. When you didn't know who you were calling and you didn't know where I was, I would have been like, telemarketer, bye bye.
Okay. So call me and try to start with me.
Wait, well, but then again, I'm a pre-qualified person.
Okay, okay. So the thing what I wanted to prove is, and maybe I did it too strong, is I don't need to know what you're doing, and it's basically I will ask,
I
but that
see.
didn't go well, huh?
Right.
Okay, because if I have to know you by forehand what you do with business and all, huh? Then I have to put a lot of effort in it before I call you, and I kind of I'm lazy.
And you're
I
like, I don't
don't
want.
want to study 10 minutes, huh? So I can go to your website, I can study about it, and then I know I know more about your business before I call.
Right.
I didn't want to do that because then I can only call a few business each day. When I do the cold call without preparation, I can call more business per day. And so I have to think a little bit different. How can we just engage without that you have the um, so you felt you got a marketing call, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and because that's how a lot of other marketing calls have started out. I appreciate it more when a person just calls and says, um, you know, my name is so and so, and I'm with such and such, and you know, we can. I figured out how to get you on the first page of Google and to get you more customers. Just cut to the chase. And then I can be like, oh, well, I want to hear more about this or not.
Okay, so let's try that. Okay, I will call you. Okay.
Okay.
Ring ring. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, this is Jack from Local Search. Um, I'm working with Local Search, and I'm helping local business to get ranked on the first page of Google. So, because consumers are looking on Google on the first page of Google before they call a business. Are you interested to learn more about it?
Uh, what difference does it make if I'm on the first page of Google?
So typically, people do not look at the second page of Google. They first call the business which are on the first page of Google. That means that they will first call your competitors. So do you know which competitors you have?
Generally, yes. In my area, yeah.
Okay. And what do you think about? Would you like that they call you first, or are you okay that they first call them?
Yeah, I get your point. I'd, of course, rather them call me first.
And would you like me to help you with that?
Maybe. Let's talk more about it.
Okay, do you mind that you tell a little bit more about your business so I can see where I can help you the best?
Oh, that's really good. I really like how you asked that. Um, sure. Yeah, well, I teach music out of my home and online, and I teach mainly private students in voice, guitar, and piano, but I am trying to transition more into group programs online.
Okay. And do you have a Google My Business or Google profile account?
I do.
Okay. And does it have reviews on it?
I'm sorry, does it have what?
Reviews on it?
You know, I don't know. I never really look at it.
Okay. So those are the kind of things we look at and help optimize the listing, get it ranked. We look at your competitors, make sure at some point you rank above on top of them. So of course, this takes a lot of effort. Are you interested in a proposal how we do this?
Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing more.
So in order to do this, we will all create, we will list your business all over the internet. They point to your business listing. We optimize your business listing. It takes kind of, it's about a 3 month process. It's not a fast thing, but once you get listed on the first page of Google, they will call you first instead of your competitors. So how many more students you can handle for your teaching program?
Well, in order to, I said I want to do group programs that are short and long term, short, medium, and long term, that are combination of coaching and private, right? Um, and I can, I want to have at least 10
Okay,
in a
10.
program, and I would run probably one program to
Okay,
begin with.
yeah, of course. And what do they pay?
They pay about 300 to register,
Mm-hmm.
and then 200 a month. But I'm piloting it, so at present it's running at 197 for registration and 97 a month.
Okay. And how many months is the program?
6 months.
Okay, so 6 times 100, 600 plus 200 is $800 per student. Is that the
About
math?
that. Hmm.
Okay, and 10 to 15 students, or how many students are in?
Yeah, I want to have at least 10 so that I can actually develop the course well.
Okay. So 10 times 800 is $8,000 is in fall training program, correct?
Correct.
So how does that sound that we work on your Google My Business listing and we so 1/5 of $8,000, how much is that?
1/5 of 8,000, a little over 1,000, right?
Is it-
1750-ish.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think
Ish.
1,600, I think, correct?
Something about that.
Yeah. And so let's do the math simple, it's $1,500. So that's 7,500. Then, so I feel I can do this for, normally I charge $1,000 a month to work on your Google My Business listing, but let's do $500 per month. So we can spread it out over 3 months at $1,500. And then you should see some big improvements to list on your Google My Business ranking. Does that sound fair?
It could. What I would like for you to do is, could you send this to me so that I never make snap decisions?
Yeah, I
I
understand.
always take 24 hours to think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. What is your mobile number?
It is bloody, bloody, blah.
Okay. So I can do a special today. Normally we charge $1,000. So if I send you a proposal, it will include $1,000 per month. If you can make a decision today, I will do it for $500. So it's up to you what you prefer.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm committed to taking 24 hours to think about it.
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense. Yeah. Which information do you need from me to make a decision?
well, I'd like to know more about who you are, and I'd like to know if you have any clients who I could talk with to see what their results
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
So if you have any references, um, and if you have a website, I'd love to have that information.
yeah. Are you in front of the computer?
No.
Okay. So can you write it down for me? Go to jackhopman.com and jackhopmen.com, and then you can find my services and my clients reviews.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, very good. So it's now in the morning, 8 o'clock. Um, I kind of want you to take benefit of the deal today. Um, would it okay for me
Jack,
to call you
I'm
back?
sorry. Jack, I'm so sorry. My mom's in the hospital in Texas, and my brother is calling me. So I have to get off this call and call him.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
yeah. That makes totally sense. I will send you text message. Would it be good for you that I follow up today at 4 o'clock?
Oh, sure. Well, no, I'm not kidding. I'm actually interrupting our role play to tell you that my mom's in the hospital and my brother's calling me from Texas. So I
Okay,
have to
okay,
get off this role play call and get
okay,
off the
okay. So that
mastermind
was for
call, and
real.
I have to call him back. Yeah. So,
Okay, yeah.
yes. So thank you so much. And I look forward to watching the replay of this.
Okay, you're funny. All good. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Okay. So what you guys think? Took a little bit. So I think the learning is there's not really one one script that is the best, correct? She didn't like my pitch in the beginning, so I changed it to another pitch, and then you just have to see what fits with you and where you get the most results from. So she kind of preferred that I introduce myself, and um, then she really turned on when I said the words, "Do you mind to tell a little bit about your business?" That is where she felt that she felt good with, huh? Then she spoke about the business, and then I have to do the math, correct? So it was not $15,000 like the first role play. Then I have $3,000 to play with. But now it was only $8,000, so I have lesser money to play with. So then I thought, okay, she's probably happy to pay $1,500, but it takes 3 months. So I like to earn monthly. So let's divide it per month. 3 months is $500 per month. So then I have a $500 per month client, correct? So it's you have to be flexible and listen what they say and see what works. Now, I did not do it perfect, I agree, but um, I think even if you don't do perfect, you can get some decent results. So you have to kind of listen and see what they say and use that information for your next question. Do you all your sales via cold calls? Now, Rebecca, I was like many of you guys in 2009, 12 years ago. I had no clients. So every business person I um, I came across, I got a credit card. So I learned this 12 years ago when I had no clients, almost no clients. When I started up. So I know how to speak, and I have been a business owner. Too, so I know what it is to have employees, to run a business, ROI. I know all of this. So whatever comes up in such call, I'm used to speak that business language. Does that make sense, Rebecca? So once you have a certain amount of clients, you get a much easier. They calling you. They got by referral, or or I don't know how they find me. So at a certain point, they call me, like they will call you when you have a certain amount of clients. So, but I did that 12 years ago, and um, when somebody is into And Cynthia said, I was in insurance and the payroll sales before. I found that when I asked a prospect to tell me a little more about their business so I could focus on how I can help the business, they would warm up and tell me a lot. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not sure if everybody got it, what I said, so I will put it in the chat so everybody can read it. But that really turned it on, correct? This was the secret from this call. So she really felt good when I asked her, may I ask? So that was the 3 words that turned her on. May I ask? I think that was the secret. And then to tell more about your business. So the words, may I ask? That really changed the tone of the call. And she kind of was a straightforward person. She didn't like me to sneaky ask about the business and the name before I introduced myself. So that could be. So you just have to see what works for you. Can also be niche specific. So that you tell it, okay, my name is, I work for a company, and I help business to get listed on Google. Are you interested? Huh? So do you always say you get on the first page of Google? Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, people understand that. They understand it. Same as getting your leads. I think they people. I think. What if we have a group to present, Jack? What do you mean you have a PowerPoint presentation. So Will said, I need to do a Zoom presentation on Google Meet to a group of business owners. How to create a presentation which can lead to an appointment. Okay, Will, you explain how Google My Business works and why it is important. You kind of train them to do Google My Business. Okay? You train them. Huh? You overload them with information. They get a headache. Okay? Then you go to do a survey. You ask them to tell about what they like of the presentation, but you make sure that your business information is very clear. Okay, now what will happen? They will, hey Will, you seem to know so much about Google My Business. Can you help me? That is the strategy. So you're not selling Google My Business, you're teaching Google My Business. Huh? So you don't do the selling, you do the teaching, but do the teaching in such a way that I get a headache. That is an overload. Huh? That is a wow. Huh? It's too much work for me. They are so busy, and when you do the overload, you're getting seen as the expert, and they want you to do it, at least a fair amount. Now, typically, you cannot do those presentations. You cannot get the sales talk. They typically you're not getting allowed to do the sales talk. Okay, you overcome that with a survey. You prepare some questions. You ask how they like the presentation, what good, not bad. Okay, and maybe you put a link to your website or a phone number, and then you offer a private coaching call or a meeting or whatever. And then I think I have somewhere a template for that. I forgot where it is, but I have. And then they they book a meeting, and in that meeting you get them as client, and you do the same thing. You tell me more about your business, huh? And they are warm prospects. They will tell about the business, and then you say, and then you use the magic words, I can help you with that. Okay, you end up, I can help you with that. Okay, when would you like to get started to rank on Google Business? As soon as possible. Okay, which credit card do you want to use? It's all the same talk. It's kind of all same. It's pretty simple when the client are listening to you. Okay, does that make sense, Will? What do you guys think? You can do that? Good. So, hi Richard. Good to hear. So I will provide the new training this weekend as a deal. So the new 2022 training, and so you can master that. I will add this prospecting call to the training as well. So you have this as a reference. I think it went very well. I kind of was looking for, you will, I call it Google My Business 2022. Yeah, I did. And now I'm doubting I should name it differently. I should name it Google Business Profile. I think I should rename it. You guys already familiar with the name? Huh? Uh, so we'll see how I name it. So I needed more time than you guys to get used to the new name. So I always call it Google My Business. Like I called for a year Google AdWords, and it was already Google Ads. for some reason it sticks in your head for a long time. But I think you guys already used the Google Business Profile, so uh, probably I need to change the name too. But likely, if you say Google Business Profile to customers, they don't know what you speak about. So with that said, really thank you guys for your attendees and your interaction today. Really love it, and thank you for uh, coming to this training. And see you next time on the training as well. Thank you so much.